What's up, gamers? Hey, so I was actually recently working on a video called Ashlands is Doo-Doo, and it was covering the fact that here's this awesome new biome that Iron Gate's made for Valheim that's got all this amazing fun stuff, and it's ruined by the incredibly high spawn rates of mobs, as well as like the main experience of like mining the metal. Well, they begin to sink just like the Leviathans do. And so you've got like limited amount of time to mine the flame metal and collect it before you have to jump away so you're not consumed by lava. Well, anyways, I can no longer do that video because I just got home from work and I logged on today to see that there's actually patch notes for a patch they dropped on the beta test server, which is usually only a week or two before it drops as an official patch. And it looks like they've fixed everything I have a complaint about. So if you haven't played Ashlands, it's a super cool place, but it's just hell. Like, it stops being fun after a while. It's never really fun because you get your butt kicked the entire time. But then as you start getting used to that and you start having fun getting your butt kicked, you realize it never ends. They're just constantly just swarmed by mobs, and you can't even get the flame metal off the spires. Not only does it sink, but as soon as you start mining, every mob around hears you and they come attack you. And if they hit you at all, it knocks you in the lava. Bunch of crud. Anyways, all right, let's get into it. Detailed patch notes. Here we go. Fixes and improvements. Decrease random spawn chance of multiple enemies in the Ashlands. Vultures. Reduce spawn chance from 30% to 20%. So while it's only like, you think 10%, that's going from close to like a third of a chance down to a fifth of a chance. That's going to be significant. But vultures aren't that big of a deal. They're only a pain when you start getting swarmed by everything. So let's continue. Twitchers. During the day, the spawn interval increased from 110 to 200. Now, I'm pretty sure it's in reference to how often it checks for spawns. That would be seconds. So from 110 seconds right now, which is just shy of every 2 minutes, up to 200 seconds, which would be 3 minutes and 20 seconds, I think, quick math. Reduce spawn chance from 55% down to 25%. So that's like cut it, more than in half. That's awesome. Max spawn decreased from 4 to 3. So the max amount that they can spawn if a successful spawn is rolled, it's only 3. It used to be up to 4, now only 3 of them. Now Twitchers at night. Night, of course, everything spawns a lot more. So we have spawn interval increased from 100, again, I believe that's seconds, to 160. So still, we've added an extra minute to the time before it checks for a spawn chance. The spawn chance reduced from 60 to 30% chance. So cutting that in half from the majority of the time down to less than a third of the time. So that's super cool. And decrease the max of them from 5 down to 4. So again, cutting one off. If you look at the top of them, like 4 to 3, that's 25% less of them max. And then 5 to 4, that's 20% less. So that's significant. Significantly less in the big picture of them spawning. It's less of a chance of getting mobbed as often. But that's not it. It goes on. Charred Archer. Spawn interval increased from 240 to 320. So that's adding 80 seconds to it. Let's assume I'm wrong about it being seconds, so I'll just read it as it's typed. Charred Archer spawn interval increased from 240 to 320 and reduced the spawn chance from 40 to 20%. So that's, again, cut in half again, but big picture, that's just a lot less. Charred Melee, spawn interval increased from 240 to 320, same as the Archer, and reduced spawn chance from 50 down to 20%. So there's a 50% chance before that they were going to spawn successfully at the check, and now it's down to 20%. You're going to see significantly less Charred wandering around, which is very welcome. The mobs are actually difficult on their own. They don't need to also swarm you to be difficult. Lava Blob, spawn interval increased from 200 to 260. That's about it. That was done with Lava Blobs, and you know what? That's cool. They were not really a problem. I don't think they need to change at all, but that's cool. Less of them is still cool with me. Flame metal spires will no longer submerge when mined. That's huge. That means if you see a spire out there in the lava, yeah, you may have to find a way out to it, but you don't have to worry about it sinking on you and leaving you in the middle of a lava ocean to fetch your body 3, 4, 5 times. Who knows how many? Yeah, that's awesome. They really never should have sunk. Vultures no longer make walking sounds when flying. I mean, I didn't actually notice that they did that, so it doesn't matter to me. It's just a bug. Fixed a bug in the block list that made it possible to block yourself. That's wild. All right, and then changes to Xbox. We got fixed a bug that made the game think that every player in the player list was the local player. This bug was the root cause of multiple issues since privilege checks became completely broken. This impacted managing players' communication, display name, and gamer pick, and maintaining multiplayer session state. So that sounds like a really big fix there. Also, fixed a bug concerning joinable game sessions and online play, and fixed an error on Xbox One caused by mouse.current returning null if no mouse is plugged in. I don't play on Xbox, so I'll leave that to you guys to understand what that means. And then Mac, which is just recently, Valheim was just recently released on Mac. So welcome, Mac players. Instead of polling to check for availability of precise scrolling deltas, which is inefficient, especially on slower Macs, cache the value and only update it when the input layer changes. Yo, that's just a bunch of word salad to me. I'll let you guys figure that out. The scroll modifier native plugin is now only applied when actually scrolling, and the scroll value is now set in update in close bracket. I'm not sure what that is. Instead of reading it every time the scroll wheel function is called. This makes it less resource intensive, noticeable on weaker systems. It's like, do Mac users just speak a different language? I don't know what any of this is. Fix the issue to make sure to register the Game Central Platform ID without the A prefix, since that would later break. Look, it's on the screen. I'll let you read it. I don't know what it's saying, but the important thing is they fixed Ashlands. So I no longer have to make a video of how Ashlands unfortunately sucks, because it looks like every complaint I had, they more than fixed. This is actually more than I even asked for. So if it turns out to be as drastic or even close as it seems, Ashlands is going to be so much more fun. Because honestly, you get there naturally in the beginning. It's hard already as it is, but they just, it's like, it feels like a game developer is just watching you play and just like spawning stuff on top of you to see how you handle it. It's so frustrating after a while. It just gets so old. But this is fantastic. This is awesome. It'll still be a dangerous place, but I think it's going to be a lot less annoying. I'm so glad. It shouldn't be very long. Yeah, I mean, especially in a patch like this. They're going to run through, make sure it's working smooth, didn't break anything, and people like what they've done. They might make small tweaks to this, and then, boom, launch it official. Yeah, I would expect within the next couple weeks it'll be done. It'll be official. But I'm not psychic, so don't hold me to it. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me on this. If you like Valheim and want to see more Valheim content, I have it on the page. Go ahead and subscribe, and whenever I throw something out, it'll let you know. Go ahead and like this video and share with someone else who might find it interesting. I do appreciate you watching this one, and I will see you soon. Have a good one. Peace.